wouldn't ever change it because I wouldn't be in front of you now. So
100%.
wouldn't be with these lovely guys either. So
Right, we're on. Thank you for the pre-chat,
right.
everyone. Inspirational. Hello, Lee Kemp here for another week on a podcast. Ryan Boniface, Jose Noya, both with me. Good bit of pre-chat happening there on the TikTok. Just stick the TikTok's the right way to say it, right? It doesn't make me sound old or anything. Just stick Jose Noya Inspirational into your Google machine. TikTok, YouTube, podcast, it will all come up first. Follow, like, subscribe. You'll be notified when we go live, and you can get involved, get some personal advice, just like somebody did there from the man himself. Speaking of which, Jose, I think you are the man with the subject this week. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I've just got to give a little bit of a, because Taham's asked the question, where's episode 1? So episode 1, inspirationnation.org.uk. That's inspirationnation.org.uk. If you go to the link in the bio on TikTok, you'll get a link to it. This episode 1, just scroll down the right at the bottom. We've got 270
Yeah.
How many episodes?
If they just click the podcast tab, it will take them right in there, and they can view it. You can listen to it on any podcast player. All the links are there.
There you go. So find it there, Taham. Hope that's helped. Let me know if you find it, and let me know what you think of the episode. I'd love to know. Join us here. Let me know. Pop it in the chat and tell me what you, once you listen to it. Let me know. I'd love to know. Always really happy. Pop it on the comments or just reach out to me. Anyway, yes, it is my turn.
Inspirationnation.org.uk again, but just Inspiration Nation podcast. Stick it in Google. That will sort you out.
And also, there's an email. You can email us. Haven't we got an email?
We have
contact box as well. We've got a contact box on there as well, so you can email. We're all there, all over the place. Right, brilliant. Okay, it's my turn. So I have a quote, and the quote is this. It's from executive performance coach Julie Gerner, and she said, "The questions you ask yourself will largely determine the answers you get." I'll read that again. The questions you ask yourself will largely determine the answers you get. So I'm going to set a little bit of a task for you two and the audience. So this is our listeners as well as our TikTok audience. And this is the task. So I'm going to read you out 2 questions.
Ooh.
And I want you to tell me which one you think is a better question to ask yourself. Right, question number 1 is, why am I not successful? First question is, why am I not successful? The second question is, how can I succeed here? Right, so thinking about, I'll repeat that second one, because I did the first one. Number 2 is, the second one is, how can I succeed here? Right, so audience, Lee, Ryan, what in your view is the better question? Question 1 or question 2 that you ask yourself?
What was question 2 again? I won't lie, I was trying to do something there.
Well, I'll tell you what, just to let you know, we've already got ours on TikTok.
I couldn't remember what question 1 was.
Look at this, listening skills, right? Listening skills, here we go, right. So, Taham's actually come up on TikTok, Taham.
Let's go. What's he saying?
10 points, right. Give me the questions again. What, do you want the second question or the first one? The second one, was it?
Yeah, the second one. Oh, yeah, both. One
for
both,
Ryan
right?
You want
and
both.
2 for me.
So, TikTok, they want both. Right, okay, so the first one, why am I not successful is the first question.
Yep.
The second question is, how can I succeed here? And Taham, giving you 100 Inspiration Nation points because you are absolutely spot on, man.
It was 10 just now. Was it 100? What's going on? Have I got 100?
I'm giving 100 because you didn't listen. I'm giving 100.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion here that both questions are right. But you're
Okay.
probably
No,
you're
it's
probably,
definitely-
you're probably going to tell me
okay,
that question 2 is
in
the right
your-
answer.
I want to get you off the fence, Ryan, so you get those splinters off, right? Which one, though? Listening to yourself.
Well, no, because I think both elicit a response that I would benefit from.
Okay.
So why am I not successful?
Yep.
Can it really, really be broken down to asking for a root cause analysis for why something has not gone well? That doesn't read as a negative, impactful question on me.
Okay.
It doesn't. If the question was phrased as "Why am I never successful?" then you know what, that might be a different question. But I think in that scenario, what was number 1 again? Why have I not been successful?
Yeah. Why am I not successful? Yeah.
Why am I? If it was why am I never? Why have I never ever been successful? Something along those lines. And I think that's a completely different question. But I think why have I not been successful?
Why am I not successful in the present tense?
But you could apply that to a specific project or a specific job or specific relationship.
It's just a general question.
See, I don't see that as a bad question to ask myself. However, I do accept that the answer you're looking for is probably question two, because
what's the reason?
because
What's the reason for that?
the question sounds nicer to hear to yourself. It's a nicer question to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Saying why am I not successful is an attack. Can be seen as an attack of you're not successful. Whereas what can I do to be more successful is same question, it's just phrased slightly differently. That's how I understand it anyway.
Yeah,
But that might be the way my brain reads these things.
so I really like that because this is absolutely right. So I think when you're super confident. Oh, anyway, actually, before we go, Lee, what do you think?
Ryan, you are coming out the traps hot there today. You know,
Sorry.
I know what you're
Come on,
going to
Lee,
say, and I don't like it, and I'm going to argue with you straight away about it.
What do you think, Lee? What's your thought? Oh, 4K lights, by the way. Just let you know.
Thank you. I would say too, because I did take it. I think why am I not successful is too generalised. You know, success isn't an outcome as a generalised thing for me. I think it's more. I like number two better. How can I be successful here? You're in the moment. You're present. It's forward facing rather than necessarily retro. Not that being retrospective is a bad thing sometimes, but I think it's the same thing to say. It's like, you know, why am I not rich? If your goal is to be rich, you'll never be rich. Unless you happen to, you know, one day get the right lottery ticket or something like that, because that's not an outcome. People who are rich have done it because they found something they love, they're passionate involved, they can get involved in, they can become good at, and as a consequence, yes, you get rich. Even stockbrokers and stuff like that, they love trading, they've got a thing for doing that, and they keep doing it. When they're way beyond the point of rich, they keep doing it because they love what they're doing. And I think that's how can I be successful here? What can I do? Whether that's tiny or massive or in between, it's just that kind of forward facing, what can I do in this moment, in this time where I am now, rather than a more generalised, why aren't I successful, without any specific means to it. That's probably completely wrong as well on where you're driving.
No, so
let us know. I want to know. I want to know where what the 100 points is worth as well, though, Jose.
So you'll both get 100 points. You're both right.
Oh,
so Ryan is the second question.
Right, it's really one of those competitions that everyone wins.
But no, I would have definitely given you no points if you definitely said no, one is the right answer.
I'll take my participation trophy. It's fine.
But I love when I read this, and I think back to the time when I wasn't really super successful, like in terms of how I was feeling. I was like, confident is the word I was thinking. I wasn't super confident. I was really unconfident. If I asked myself, why am I not successful when I'm not confident, I would have gone, well, it's your crap, your shit. That's why. I think that's the response I would have given, is because you're just not good enough. That's why I like the second question. How can I succeed here? It's really cool because it's about how can I succeed? Like, okay, what could be better? And that's the reason why I like it. If you know that first one is quite a judge, like you said. I think Ryan, you were right. It's like a harsher question. This is why. Like, why are you not successful then? It's because you're crap. You know, that's that whole operation type, and that's why.
Three swears from Jose that we're up to right now.
Did we say that? I didn't know we said. But this is why I like this, because you got different views in it, and I think obviously Ryan, you're super confident. Lee, you're super confident too, and that's why you can probably ask yourself that question, not have that self-talk, which can be really damaging. But to people who are not that confident, and I know I resonate, that first one will be, you know, why am I not good at this? Because you're crap, you can't do it. And that's why I think it's really important that how you phrase the questions to yourself is really important.
I definitely say things like that to myself, but I don't know. I think to me that isn't a big deal to say that kind of thing to me. Like, I don't know. Maybe I developed thick skin as a kid. Saying something like that wouldn't make me feel horrendous about myself. But I also accept that I'm very, very much in a minority for this. Very much in a minority. I'm not naive to that. I don't know. I don't think I've sat there and said, why have I not succeeded at something, and then gone, it's because you're shit. But I would say that, but I would say it disingenuously. I wouldn't say it to myself as a serious comment, I would then go, oh, you shit, and then go, no, well, no, really, it was probably because of X, Y, Z, or A, B, C. I could have looked at more, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should practice being nicer to myself, but I'm not sure I'd get a better outcome because I'm not sure I feel bad with the way I currently talk to myself.
Something to play
That
around
makes
with,
sense.
though, isn't it? Something to play around. Yeah, it does. But you did say there was like maybe I need to think about asking.
Hey, look, everyone says it works. I don't feel like it has a negative effect on me at this
Hmm.
stage. So maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. I don't know.
I just think it's very personal, isn't it? I think, if you ask yourself the question, what do you get as a response, and you just said, oh well, it's, you sort of, what was it you said? You sort of have a laugh about, oh yeah, I'm shit, but I'm not really. It's sort of like a little jokey thing with
Well, I
yourself.
guess, yeah.
That's what it is. It's like, oh yes, because oh not really. Oh, this is what I need to do. So you almost like take a humorous stance on the response, and almost. Do you know what I was thinking to me? I don't know whether this is the case. When you think about it, and then you put that, oh I'm shit in it, but then you almost like laugh off the negativity a little bit. Like that's what it's like. Like, yeah, that negative can go, oh, well, shit, isn't it now? I'm not really. This is what I need to do. You almost like, yes, I've acknowledged that was negative, but you almost like turn it around and say, ah, that's quite funny, isn't it? But then you do something. So it seems like your thinking is slightly, that slightly different way of thinking about it, which is really cool, really. If it does come up, that might be a good strategy to deal with it, right? Oh, it's not really like, this is what I need to do. You're quite practical. That's what come across when you played that back.
Um, yeah, practical, maybe. I'm not sure that's the word I'd use. I
What would
think
you use? What
I
was the
think I'm
word you
I think I'm just accustomed to uh that being the way I talk about myself. The I think for me as a kid, especially growing up, I did get picked on quite a bit. I'm not afraid to kind of say that. But I think if I sat there and came to terms with the fact that I could call myself those things and not be affected by it, then nobody else could affect me by saying thuse things. So it probably goes back to me being a kid. Probably goes
Yeah,
back to that time of my life where I've created that defensive shield to
nice.
getting picked on or whatever it is, whatever phrase you want to use for it,
Yeah.
and use that as just is what it is.
Do you know
You
what
know,
I
like I also think there's differences between even the way Lee and I would talk compared to the way you would talk. Like I'm sure Lee wouldn't be against the idea of phoning up one of his friends and going, "Hello, fuckface, you okay?" Whereas I think you
We'll
would
ask
never
him in a
do
minute. We'll
you
ask
would
him.
never do that, and I would do that. Like me and my dad call each other slags because that's just the way that we've always had that relationship, right? It's but that's I would imagine you can tell me if I'm wrong, Joe, that for you that would feel like nothing that you were ever used to as throughout your life. So I think those exposures to different things we have as kids or as teenagers or as we grow up affect how we respond to the way or the words we use either against ourselves or against others. Now, I'm not saying my parents called me harsh things all the time, so I developed a thick skin for it. But I am saying that school teaches a lot of people a lot of things very quickly, and I think I learned very quickly um, that I needed to be able to be aware and not be affected by these things. So I put up that wall myself.
Interesting.
But perhaps some people that struggle, and I don't have any logic for this, but perhaps people that struggle maybe a bit later in life with talking to themselves or being spoken to in certain ways, perhaps didn't suffer that problem as kids.
Yeah.
Maybe they did, maybe they didn't.
Yeah. I really like the way you're talking about it because you said there's a few things that like I put up when I was a child I put up a shield. Like
Yeah, I would have
you
done as a
learned
teenager.
early to not absorb.
Yeah.
So what you've done is you're using humour to disarm the negativity.
Oh, 100%.
That's what.
I've
So
used
like,
humor as
if
a
I was a
defense
if I was
mechanism all my
like,
life.
yeah, when you go into school, right, you get your mates. And I was I was quite a sensitive child actually. I'll be take it quite personally. I still do. And I still
I did.
I am sensitive.
I was as a teenager.
Was you?
I was really bad. Yeah,
But bad in what way? Sorry.
sensitive.
Sensitive. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
was
you said as a kid,
crazy sensitive.
you put up the shield, and then you said as a teenager, it's really sensitive. So was there a switch then in the teenager that you did something?
Um,
Because I'm interested because I think this could
you
be
know
a
what? I've never really thought about that. Probably when I finished secondary school and went to sixth form. It's part of the same school. It's just not everybody went to sixth form. Some people went to college or went off and got a job. And I went to sixth form, and I think I discovered that I needed a job to be able to survive. And I got a job, and my personality was accepted at that job. I didn't have to change who I was or be somebody different. And as a result of that, I realized that I was fine now. Like I would really get picked on because
So just being yourself. So
I don't know. Everybody has different experiences with school and stuff, right? And I've always been somebody that's been older than what my years say they are. And I think as soon as I got out of a school environment and got into a professional environment,
yeah,
albeit there would have been some mess around behavioural issues when I was 16, working in a restaurant kitchen and things like that. Generally, being an older person on younger shoulders, I just fit in naturally more. Like that adult population were my people, whereas being a kid or as a child, my peers weren't my people because we couldn't relate. But I've always been able to
because you
relate to
felt
people that are older than me.
you felt
Yeah.
older than your peers. Oh, interesting.
So so I've always been used to defamatory language and talking to myself like shit or whatever. And if there was ever a time where I thought, oh, I don't really like that, I would have stopped, but I didn't. So I don't think I feel that negative row as much as perhaps what the world expects you to when you talk about yourself like that. But that doesn't mean to say that because I don't get it, nobody else gets it.
No.
It's just I'm not sure I've got a valid opinion to really push home on this because I don't think it matters too much either way.
Well, I just like the strategy how you dealt with it. Like you almost like it's almost like when they say in NLP, isn't it? If you want to make something not stick, you can sort of rewind and play it like speedy, stupid language to make something that anyone said, you make it sound stupid and silly. So it almost becomes, oh, this just doesn't really matter. And I quite like that. That's why I say in NLP, you can sort of like, have a film or speed up their voice. Whoever said to you, speed up their voice, make it sound funny and stupid so that it doesn't have that effect on you that it sounds like a personal attack.
Yeah.
And that's what sounds like you do. You take that, if you have that question, you say, oh, yeah, she was, not really. This is what I'm going to do about it. You're very humor based, and you've got a protection mechanism that stopped that coming in. That's what it sounded like to me. And then you got to when you were a teenager, then you said, "Oh, I felt older than my peers," but it almost like in some way although you recognise you were sensitive, you still had that ability to be able to not take it personally and actually.
Well, it was bad. It was bad
way.
it was bad when I was in secondary school. It got better when I turned 16
and when you got the job, right?
Finished my GCSEs and started doing my A levels.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got some feedback the other week that I'm really good at getting people to see my way of thinking and bringing people around something that I want to do because I'm good at convincing them to do it. Basically, I got told I was a good manipulator, but in a positive framing, right? If there's something comes up at work and there's 3 different ways to go, more often than not, the feedback I got was that people would follow the way I thought because I was good at really heavily suggesting people to follow the way that I would go. And I never thought about it before, but I didn't have that influence when I was at school. So I must have gained that influence somewhere. God knows where, but I must have gained it somewhere. And now it's something that people have given me feedback on in a positive light to say that I'm a good leader of peers. I don't know. It's weird how these things suddenly change. I don't think my personality's changed all that much, but the people around me has changed. That's the point I'm making around my peer group has changed, and I now all of a sudden am funny and people want to pay attention to me. Whereas when I was a teenager, didn't have that. You know what I mean?
Interesting to sort of reflect on that actually, and what maybe was the thing that happened, or a gradual thing that happened, because that might give you even more insight as to how you can still use it in a really great way. But yeah, anyway, I love that. I thought it was really fascinating. The whole defense mechanism, humorizing it, was quite cool. But anyway, Lee, any thoughts on any of that? Because there's a lot there to unpack there. Right.
I'm just shocked that you think you're funny, Ryan. I don't know where this has come from.
Well,
Funnier than you.
Well, you go see that. There you go. See that's the humour defence right there, which is really cool. That's something actually I really struggle with, and I only learned it through our podcast together. I still struggle with it though. To be fair, if I take things personally, you will see it, and I will really be sensitive about it. But I do try and become a bit more humorous, but I still struggle with it. But yeah, go on. Sorry, go on. Lee, you got anything on this?
Didn't shock me, Joe, when you said that you were sensitive when you were younger. I have to say,
Massively sensitive. Yeah, huge. Yeah, even people say stuff in jest I take it really personally.
Yeah, I used
And
to.
even now I
used to
still
really-
do at some point. I know it shocks me sometimes. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Like the other week, we talked about, didn't we, the other week? Anyway, sorry, Lee.
I used to be really bad, but I think to defend that now quickly, and I will let Lee go. I just think everyone's being serious now until they prove to me that they are. But it can never be any worse than what it was when I was a kid. So that's the way I approach these things. I don't know.
No,
It's just weird. It's just weird how you gain these defenses.
it's opinions.
I like that
Opinions is tricky because it's what we're both talking about, isn't it? With other people's opinions, if you want to say. And one phrase I like, and it's a corny one, I see it all the time, but I really like it, and it will put us into swear territory again. But it's opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
And everyone will. Absolutely every person will.
Yep.
But also, the one I saw is never be upset by an opinion from someone that you wouldn't take advice from.
Take advice from. Yeah, I've said that.
I love that one.
Because it's just you've got to you've got to be, in one way, you've got to be bulletproof to opinions, because you can't be steered by what everyone else thinks, because you step into people pleasing territory and it's really risky and it's really messy, and you'll never get it right because everyone's got a different opinion, hence the first quote. So I think you've got to be, you can't be driven by people's opinions, but you've got to be considerate of them, because you can go too far the other way and dismiss everything, which is not good as well, because sometimes those opinions can have a positive influence on you, whether it's good or bad. Sometimes, being challenged is a good thing. If it's to make you better, you might not like it at the time, but you've got to be considerate of those things, but you can't be ruled by it, because you'll just be pulled in every which direction and you're doing your own thing. And back to the question of success, Joe, right at the start of this, to me, if someone was to ask me, and you said the right things in how you feel, do I feel like I'm successful? I would say yes. But the things I rate my life by may not be the same things for other people, and other people outside might look at me and be like, what are you talking about? And that could draw me in. I could be like, oh no, I'm not, what am I doing? But only I can set what that measure is for myself, what that looks like, how that feels to me, and you've got to define what that is on your opinion of yourself.
Oh, yeah. Love that. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking. So actually, I wrote this down before you even said that. I said opinion of yourself, right? This is what's really important with the questions you ask yourself. So why am I not successful? That first question. And then an opinion will come from yourself. Like, that will be an opinion depending on where you are as a human. And like you said, what does success look like to me? So I think sometimes the work is to work on yourself, to believe in yourself, to have confidence in who you are.
Well, sorry, I know to cut now. I just want because you've said the word confidence twice, and I like that. It's an important thing, and it's real. But I think for me, how I feel is I wouldn't put my answers to that would be X, Y, Z because I'm really confident. What I think has happened over the years is I'm less insecure and I'm less driven by other people's opinions, and I'm more comfortable with trusting my gut and my opinion and going with it. And I think that breeds the confidence, but almost as a byproduct. It's definitely the lessening of the external factors rather than an internal thing in my own confidence in myself.
Yeah, I love that. So I think that still comes back to let's ask ourselves the right questions, though, right?
100%.
So whether it is, if we do ask a question, we come up with that opinion from our brains that comes up, right? And it's maybe, that's a bit of an odd response, right, from my brain. Like, let's think about that. And actually, do we need to rephrase that question and be really conscious about it? Because for Ryan, it's a fine element, but Ryan said he might play around with the questions. But for me, for definite, the style of the question for me, it's definitely got to be the right ones. And so that's why I love that. How can I succeed here rather than why am I not successful? Because I would definitely go down the route of, I'm just not doing this. I'm not doing that. You just not now, but it would have been in the past.
Yeah.
So it would have been in the past, not now, because I'll be aware of that question. And I would ask myself a better question, because the answer I'm getting is just shit. That's not a great answer. Well, it's because you're crap. Well, that's not going to help me, is it? Like, that does not help, right? So anyway, you're going to say, sorry, I interrupted you.
There's a thing that comes back to my whole backlog in the world situation as well with this.
Oh, I
'Cause
love that. Yeah.
in work, I've got a whole list of things I need to do. At home, I've got a whole list of things I need to do. And then I apply it onto myself because I'm currently playing what would fall under the category of a role-playing game at the moment that has loads of missions, and literally every time you turn around, it throws a new side mission at you. So actually, when I'm relaxing, I've got a massive list of things to do. And I could look at all of those things and be like, why am I not doing these? Why am I not doing a good job? Why are these things all still there to do? But what I do with every single one is I break that down, I list them, I decide what order I'm going to do them, and then I just look at the one in front of me. How can I be successful here now on this one thing? And then the next thing. And lots of little ticks, lots of little endorphin rushes of I've done that now, I've done that, I've done that. And actually, the back of the list, stuff keeps getting adding to it because that's life. And in fact, I don't, if I got to the end of it and I had nothing pushing me or challenge me or to do, I think I'd be pretty peed off with myself, really, because I'm not pushing myself. So actually, if I'm always looking at that big list going, oh, why am I not doing it? I'll be there forever. And it actually goes against what I really want. But if I break in the moment, how do I just do this? And it could be the smallest job in the world. It could be the biggest job, like I referenced earlier. How do I just do this? How do I just do this? And the big picture takes care of itself.
Yeah, and so we talked about really a long time ago, where we were talking about, sub goals, didn't we? That monthly goal or daily goal and weekly goal and then 3 monthly goal. And so you're breaking it all down, and that's brilliant because you're just literally applying your focus to that thing that's really important right now for you and disregarding everything else until that's done. And I love that because the decisions you make will be guided by that. The questions you ask will be guided by that. It's just really powerful. I love that. Breaking that down into those really bite-sized, focused, important pieces that need to be done first. And again, that goes back to, which I thought was the Covey matrix, by the way. It's actually the Eisenhower matrix, the urgent important boxes we talked about before. It's Eisenhower. I didn't know that. I found that out recently, which is
You're
interesting.
misquoting this the whole time.
Oh,
well,
I don't
Covey, I think Covey stole it.
Up is
It's in his
down,
book.
black is white, left is right.
The only time I've ever, it's only one time. Now I don't know whether Eisenhower come up with it or Covey come up with it first.
I'm done.
But what I'm saying here is that we all stand, wherever it is, that doesn't matter about the question. Where's he gone?
He left.
Oh, Lee. The question here, Ree, for me is, we all stand on the shoulders of giants, right? That's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm going to leave it at. Thanks, Lee. And whilst Lee's doing that,
I'm just sitting here laughing to myself now.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I was just going to put back here. Got Taham's just said, join later. Is going for a walk. Great stuff. Do you have a like schedule? Do you have like a schedule? Yeah, lives every. Oh, Wiku's asking for a live schedule.
Give or take.
What is it, Lee?
Give or take, we're live every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. But actually, sometimes it's Tuesday, sometimes it's Thursday. The best thing, Jose Noya, Inspiration. Stick it in Google. That will give you the links to both TikTok and YouTube. If you follow and if you hit the notifications button on both of them, it will tell you when we're going live. But I say Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, depends what we've got going in a week, around about 6. But you will get notified. You will not miss a thing if you hit that subscribe button.
And I just wanted to say thanks, Wiku, for the 4K likes.
Fantastic.
4K. I don't know how quickly they can press that button, but Wiku, I appreciate you, man. That's fantastic. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. Hello, Sam. Steve just joined. We've got some people just joining, leaving before. But hi there. Thanks for joining. We're just are we on time?
We're close to. We're up to wrapping up time now. So is there anything else to throw in
do you need
the
to do your
mix,
thing?
Jose? Yes, thank you everyone. Go a bit there, but inspirationation.org.uk is your one place to do the podcast. Our full archive is on there. Links to YouTube and the audio podcast, which is on all podcast players. Inspiration Nation merch shop as well. Get your stuff. I don't know if it will show up. I've got my mug here. Oh yeah, I didn't blur my background, so my mug is definitely there.
Oh, you've got the mug.
Loads of great stuff over there. T-shirt behind Jose. And as we said, just put Jose Noya Inspiration Nation into Google. YouTube and TikTok are the primary platforms right now. You can follow, you can subscribe. If you like what we're doing, everywhere you are, just hit subscribe, leave a review, leave some comments, and most importantly, tell friends, tell family, get people involved in what we're doing. Send those links over WhatsApp or text or pigeon mail, whatever it is, get people involved in what we're doing.
Yeah, just to let you know as well, my latest video, Day 26, has just gone live on TikTok, which will soon be on YouTube today at 6 as well. After this, I'll be releasing it. So look out for the quick clip, 60 seconds of personal development for you. So don't forget, let me know what you're going to do as a result of watching the video, what you're going to do as a result of watching this podcast. So, Lee, we've missing one thing before we go, haven't we?
I don't know. There was a lot there. I don't know what to give you as
Well,
my takeaway.
I would guess right, yeah.
Is that not what we were doing? So you thought I was going to miss out, didn't you? I
You
don't know.
got
There's a lot.
There's tons, isn't there?
There's a lot of reflection here. I'm going to step back and take time to reflect on yourself.
Great, love that.
Right. I'm going to say there's no right way to get it right.
Nice. Yes, I suppose it's your way, right? The person was right for you. And mine is, think about the question you need to ask yourself and make sure, depending on the answer, rephrase the question if it's not a great answer that supports you. That's what I'm going to go with.
Superb. Great stuff, everyone. Thank you, Jose. Great subject. Thank you, Ryan, for sharing a lot with us there. And everyone on TikTok and YouTube for getting involved as well. We appreciate it. All right. I will count us down. We'll be back, give or take, this time next week. 3, 2, 1. Inspiration Nation.
Inspiration Nation. Catch you
guys later.